Hello and welcome to Critical Reading, Tips and Tricks for Succeeding. My name is Steph Bennett. I'm a Learning Development Tutor in the Hub. Today's aims: to develop an understanding of critical reading techniques to support upcoming assignments. We will look at informative, persuasive, entertaining, locating literature and Boolean searching, the CRAP test and reading tables, critical reading task, and how to use the information. Let's get talking. Well, as we're online, let's get thinking. Critical reading warm-up. 3 statements will follow. Can you determine which is informative, which is persuasive, and which is entertaining? You have 5 minutes, so pause the video on the next slide. Number 1, understanding trait theory can help you predict behaviour, improve teamwork, and make smarter hiring decisions. 2, if trait theory were a playlist, you'd be stuck on repeat because your personality traits love consistency. 3, trait theory suggests personality is made up of stable, measurable traits that influence behaviour across situations. Did you get it right? Number 1, persuasive. Number 2, entertaining. And number 3, informative. You can tell number 3 is informative by the word suggests. It's implying something. It's not definitive. Locating literature. Reading lists. Reading lists are the first place to begin. If you have essential reading, these are resources that are absolutely necessary for the module. They should be cited and referenced in your assignments. Core reading are resources that are fundamental to understanding the module. They should be cited and referenced in your assignments. You might even find that your assessors look for those citations and references. Recommended reading are resources that provide a little bit more detail of the key topics. They can be cited and referenced to back up the essential and core readings in your assignments. And finally, further reading. These are resources that broaden and expand your understanding. They can be cited and referenced to back up essential and core readings in your assignments. And here is an example of what a reading list looks like. You can see on this one there is core reading and recommended reading. So the core reading, you would expect to see these authors cited and referenced in your assignments. Let's have a look at how to search WorldCat. Here is the WorldCat landing page. If you use the search bar to type in what you're looking for, it will often just search the titles of sources. As you can see, artificial intelligence in title. However, if we head to Advanced Search, this becomes our Boolean search operator. Let's change these to keyword. Now let's add in our search terms. You can see the synonym of higher education is university. Hence, I've changed the Boolean search operator to or instead of and. You also have other options. We can click peer-reviewed and full text. Now let's click search. And here are our results. We can now narrow down these results. Let's look at articles only. Let's look at publications from the last 5 years so we know we're looking at something current. And we can even search specific databases. Let's head to Wiley Online Library. And here are our results to sift through. So that's a little breakdown of how to use WorldCat catalogue. Now let's think about Google Scholar and Boolean searching via this database. A Boolean search, as we've just seen, are keywords related to your study topic. They're usually separated by and, or, and the word not. However, The word not doesn't work on Google Scholar. You have to use a minus sign instead. Here is an example of a Boolean search. Yes, it is quite over-engineered. Your Boolean search might not be as long or as detailed as this. It's totally up to you. Here's what it looks like when we add it to Google Scholar. As you can see, the Boolean search is in the top bar here. It's returned that many results. We can narrow down the results even further by having a custom range of the last 5 years. And there we go. Now let's click on one of these journals. Let's go for the top one. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will see a little green teardrop. And this is LibKey Nomad. I highly recommend that you download LibKey Nomad because it gives you free access to journals behind paywalls. And here you can see, now we've clicked on LibKey Nomad, here is our journal article. You might be wondering, where can I download LibKey Nomad from? Click on LibGuides. Type in LibKey Nomad, hit search, and click on Online Resources. Scroll right the way down and here it is. Click on that. Excuse the old branding, you can see here is the guide to downloading LibKey Nomad. Now let's look at academic reading. What is critical reading? Well, critical reading is about being both a detective and an interrogator. Think domino effect. We line up our dominoes, we knock one and hopefully the rest fall over. Here is the domino effect. What, how, why? Strengths, limitations, outcome. And as we're reading, we need to keep those questions in mind. What are they talking about? How might this be applied? Why are they applying it? What are the strengths of this approach? What are the limitations of this approach? What is the outcome? Where to begin with critical reading then? Skim read the chapter or article to get the main idea. What is the gist of the thing that you are reading? Step 2, apply the CRAP test. The CRAP test is a tool for evaluating the reliability of sources to determine whether you should use them in an assignment or not. And here is the CRAP test. We've done a bit of gist reading. Now let's check the currency. Is the timeliness of the information suitable for the topic you're exploring? Is the content relevant for your needs? Who's the author and what authority do they have in the field of the topic you're exploring? How accurate is the information they're presenting? Which sources are they drawing on? Which evidence are they drawing on? Is it accurate? And finally, purpose. For what reason does this information exist? We did a little task on that at the start by looking at informative, persuasive or entertaining. And you've got to do the exact same thing when reviewing the sources that you're looking at. Step 3. Read the introduction and conclusion of the chapter or journal article you're looking at to find the key points. Step 4. Search for keywords related to your topic within the chapter, within the journal article. To do this, hit Ctrl and F, type in your keyword on a PC, and hit Command and F on a Mac. You can read these sections more thoroughly. Step 5. Check that there are clear explanations and supporting data. And make notes of these important arguments and evidence, because you're probably going to use them in your assignment write-up. Step 6. Reread complex sections more closely. You might find that you do have to do this anyway to gauge what the author is trying to say. Step 7. Think about the strengths of the source. Think about the limitations of the source. Now make notes of these things, and you can use Tom Chatfield's reading table available on the Learning Development Blackboard. Let's have a look at that now. Here is our dedicated section to documenting your findings from literature. you'll find it on the Learning Development blackboard. Let's scroll all the way down. And here is the Tom Chatfield Critical Thinking Reading Table. You can see the top section asks you to write out the full reference of the source using APA 7th. And then underneath are a set of questions to ask yourself as you're reading the text. This gets you to pick apart the things you're reading, to critically engage with what you're reading, and to be more thoughtful about what you're reading. It helps you to ask purposeful questions of the text. There's even a section to add in your favourite quotations, ones that you might want to paraphrase or add in to your work. You can download a copy by clicking here, download original file, and you can see the blank version here. The crux of it is, how can this source be used in my assignment? Are there other sources that support this source I'm reading? Are there other sources that challenge it? That gives you that back and forth argument, different perspectives, the critical underpinning of the topic you're looking at. Now let's do a critical reading task. What follows are sections of a text. Stick on your detective hat and answer the questions. Here is the first blurb, and here are the questions. What is the central idea introduced here? How does the author present trait theory, positively, neutrally, or critically? And why might this theory appeal to business professionals? Pause the video for 5 minutes, have a read, jot down your answers. Did you get it right? Here are some possible answers, and I say possible because you might have interpreted things slightly different to me, and that's fine. That's what critical reading's all about. So the answer to 1, trait theory links leadership to innate personal qualities. Number 2, the author presents it positively because they haven't yet introduced a critique, but they do state its ability to lead to success. And 3, it offers a simple way to identify potential leaders based on personality traits. Let's look at the next blurb. Here are your 3 questions. What criticism does the author raise? How does the author support these points? Are there any counter-arguments or alternative views considered? Pause the video for 5 minutes, have a read, jot down your responses. And here are some possible answers. 1, trait theory ignores context and fails to explain how traits lead to success. 2, the author cites research and gives examples of leaders struggling in different environments. And 3, this is a counter-argument in itself in comparison to the first blurb we looked at. But there are no alternative theories explored in this section, only limitations are discussed. Here's the next blurb. And here are your questions. What ethical issues are raised, and does the conclusion offer a balanced view? Pause the video for 5 minutes, have a read, jot down your ideas. And here are some possible answers. 1, the ethical issues raised. It focuses on fixed traits, and this may unfairly exclude people who could succeed with support or training. And yes, it does acknowledge the value of trait theory whilst emphasising the need for more adaptable leadership models. So it is quite a balanced view. And in appeal paragraph, you might be thinking, well, how on earth do I transfer all of that information and stick it into a paragraph? Here's what it might look like. You can see in this appeal, we flipped between evidence explain evidence, explain. That's not a problem. It just demonstrates really clearly the flexibility a peel paragraph affords. Moving forward then, head to the Learning Development Blackboard, click on Academic Reading and have a look at those sections there. There are reading tables there are critical questions to ask of your text. Head to Scribr for support with academic writing. And if you need us, book a one-to-one with Learning Development for support with spelling, punctuation, grammar and referencing. And if you have any questions or suggestions, here is my email on the screen.